Okay, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks again for your patience working through all that stuff down there. Your top three tonight, Chad Boat, Cory Kruseman, Dave Darland, and the pretty ladies behind them don't need introductions. Here we go.
Oh, you know, it's really special. You know, I've been coming here for 7 years and only made the A1, so every other year's been a disappointment for sure. You know, what a great car, though. You know, John Loss and my dad came together, and you know, after Turkey Night, we decided we'd put a car together and see what we could do, and I think it's gonna be something special tomorrow.
I noticed you ran low early on, and after one of those restarts, you moved up high. Did you feel like you needed to change gears?
Yeah, well, I knew the bottom was definitely going away, and it's hard to know exactly where the person behind you is. I thought I saw Dave once out of the corner of my eye. So when the yellow came out, my dad pointed to me that Dave was running up high, so I figured I'd just take his line away and make him pass me the harder way, around the bottom.
Yeah, he wants you talking.
Oh. Is it working? Hello?
Somebody can hear us somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
Cyber world can hear. You broadcast down in the parking lot.
Walk up here. What do you need?
My hat.
Here.
Cory, there are races that you've obviously been a winner here, and it's always great to win. But there are races in which you're pretty pleased with your effort to get up to second or third. You worked awfully hard to get to that spot.
Yeah, really, I was. You know, we went out in the heat race, and I ran into the fence and tore the ladder off, and then we went out in the qualifier, and don't ask me what the hell I did there, but turned it over, ripped the battery out of it, and I mean, we had every break we could possibly get. I got to pull in twice and work on it and go back out and still run second. So, I mean, you know, I've said 100 times sitting here at this table, if you don't have Chili Bowl luck, you know, you're just one of the other 260 cars, and we started 8th, and I just took some patience, and the racetrack laid itself out, and a lot of stuff just fell my way tonight. So, you know, the most important thing that everybody forgets is you can't win the deal if you're not in it. So first, second, or third, we always want to be, you know, first, but just to be in it's pretty exciting.
Cory, what was going through your head for a while there? You really had no place to go. You had two cars battling for position for quite a few laps in front of you.
I think I was learning some new curse words, you know. It it just seemed like they were running the same speed, and then I would make my mind up and go with the guy on the top, and all right, we'd get going, and then the bottom guys start going faster. So it was just, I knew that the guy on the bottom just needed one little mistake, and we could momentum around him, where if the guy on the top made a mistake, we were right back next to him. So I just ended up following the guy on the top, and then they both made a mistake, and I was able to actually split them getting into turn one, and just had my eyes closed, it hooked up, and away we went. So it worked out pretty good.
Dave, you had a late restart, and I think a lot of us are wondering what kind of move you're going to make on Chad, and if you can get the win, then suddenly you find yourself in a position in danger for, you know, being in the top three. To be a little bit nerve-wracking for you.
Yeah, it got to be a good question there on that last lap whether I was even going to finish in the top three. But you know, somebody was under me there for for the third spot too. After Cory give me that dirty slide job he gave me, and then well, he might have learned that off of me. I'm sure. But no, we had a good race car early, and you know, as Chad was saying, the bottom was really good early, but I went ahead and got away from it pretty quick because everybody else was down there, and I was running fourth and just was trying to gain something. So I went up to the top early, and it worked pretty well. I was able to get up to second around the top around some guys, and then a couple of late restarts like you mentioned. I was trying to see how I could get an advantage on Chad, but never was able to. The one before the last, I went low and tried to catch that moisture off the bottom, and that didn't really work out well. And then the last one, I followed him around the top off of 4, and that didn't work any better. So anyway, he was just better, and ran a good race, and we had a good car early, and then just kind of went away on me as the race went. So.
Chad, are you superstitious?
No superstitions.
Because I was watching you earlier tonight that you weren't in your car a lot of times when they pushed it over in line. You walked over, and I just wondered if it was if you did that for a reason.
No, I just kind of get anxious sitting in the car. With the B mains, you never know how long they're going to go. So I just get in it whenever.
My crew does the same thing, but they say it's because I'm fat and they don't want to push me.
Chad, when you look at your dad's career, obviously there was a little bit of a break there. Many of them knew him when he was young, and then a big turnaround is when he hooked up with John Lawson. Now here you are with John.
Yeah, it's definitely quite the coincidence, really. John has always been a key factor in everything my dad did, and then he gave me my first midget when I first started. They traded out something for a whole midget. But John's definitely been a big factor in my racing career, and then hopefully he'll be here tomorrow. He said if we ran good and we're starting in the first 2 rows, he'd come, so we're gonna hold him to it.
When did you start racing?
Started racing when I was 5, but I ran my first midget race when I guess I can tell everyone now when I was 11. I think we said I was a little bit older, but.
Dave, when did you start?
I'm sorry.
Dave, when did you start?
When did I start? When I was 5, also 100 years ago. No,
They had a head start on me. I don't think I got into a race car until I was like 19. Yeah. I'm really old now, though.
How old were you when you ran your first Chili Bowl?
I was 13. I think 2006 was my first one.
So you weren't legal to run that either.
No, I was grandfathered in. They changed it after. Take that one up with Emmett.
I want to know more about the superstition, so me and Darland can work on them tomorrow.
But it is interesting when you think about it. All of us are fans of media go through this. We see generations come through it. In your case, I mean, for you two guys, you raced with his father a lot, and then you must do a double take when you look all of a sudden. There's his kid up there running up front.
It,
right on the West Coast.
it was really funny. I ran a micro sprint race last year, and it's the first time I ever ran one. And I knew the kid that was going to be fast time, and he was out like second. He went like a 13 flat, and I went out and went a 13.3 about 4 cars after him. I thought, man, I'm going to be pretty good. So pulled in the infield, and the next car was a 13.1. The next one was a 13.1, and I'm 33rd. And as they get out, they made Chad look like an old man. They're these little kids, and I'm like, you got to be freaking kid. Go get your dad. I'm gonna whoop his ass, And they just kept. So it's definitely changed to younger people, and I think it's great. I mean, look how far he's gone. I mean. Me and Dave still run a midget sprint cars. Our love's there, but we never was able to go that much further. He's already running stock cars, and he's got to do a lot of other stuff. And look at this phenomenon of Kyle Larson. I mean, the kid's absolutely incredible. I think he should run tomorrow without a steering wheel. It's just really neat because as Dave could probably attest, and even Billy, when we started. They didn't want anybody 16. They didn't want anybody 18. They wanted to make sure you were old enough and mature, and then all of a sudden it went the other way. Yeah, you're right. So it's pretty awesome to see the kids doing the stuff that they're doing. It makes me excited that maybe the sport's going to live on.
Well, the kids are exciting, but I got to tell you, there's a lot of us that really like old timers.
Well, good. Start saving us a spot up here in front to park then. Yeah.
Dave, I was talking to Robin Norris down and I made the comment that we used in reference. You've been so close to winning this whole thing a number of times. So you've seen the Swindells, you've seen what Kyle's done, you've seen this guy. Assess your chances. Do you think your chances are pretty good? Do you think they're good?
Well, yeah, my chances are good. We're in the A main is a good start, but. With both Swindells starting on the front row, it's definitely going to be a challenge. And, Chad was great tonight, and there's lots of good race cars out there, and it's going to be tough, but anybody can do it from any starting spot. If the racetrack's right and your car's right, you can advance up pretty well. As Cory said, he started 8th tonight, and the racetrack tonight was about as hard to pass on as any of them can be. But, my chances are, I'd say as good as some, not as good as some. But, we're in the A main, and that's a good start. We're happy about that feeling right now. So.
What's the furthest anybody's come? I think Billy came 13th, or was it Beechler? Beechler came 13th.
I think a C feature.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you get patient out there, Cory?
How do you get patience? Oh, it's easy when you're old. It's just what the fortunate thing is being able to sit at this table before. And kind of know how the turn events can happen. It's one of those things that you're going to get in traffic. When you're going to get in traffic, everything's going to change. And everybody's so excited and pushing all the time that you end up getting a lot of crashes, even in some of the top guys. There's only so much room for us to go. And just making sure that your car's maneuverable and being able to, maneuver around some of that stuff, I think is a big key to it. and our car just kind of got better with shocks and setup, and so.
So the car come to you.
I don't know how much it changed, but yeah, we were able to tune it a little bit with the shocks, and maybe these guys were a little bit better at the start, and we were a little better at the end. I don't know. So, some of the stuff was just dumb luck for them and great luck for me.
Chad, you were so dominant in your heat race. Did you make many changes to the car between the heat and the A?
Oh, well, I think you always got to keep up with the track. That was the one thing we concentrated on was, making sure we were tight enough where I could, go forward, had a lot of forward drive, but also maneuverable, like Cory was mentioning, because that's a big key here. You got to be able to move around on the top and the bottom. So.
Well, that's something Sammy addressed the other night about when you're starting on the pole. Kind of, felt he was a little conservative because you don't know whether you're going to be on the top or the bottom, and you can't really set for one because you'll never be able to run the other.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's exactly right. He knows a lot better than I do.
He runs the middle.
Yeah. But we just made it where I could run the bottom and the top. That's really the first time we've come here and had a car that will I can crank left and it just rolls the bottom. I mean, it rolls the bottom better than any car I've ever had. So, I think that will be a big key tomorrow. Kevin won it on the bottom last year. He won on the top the year before, so you don't really know what you're going to get. You just kind of got to study the track, do the best you can on your car setup, and then let it rip.
Chad, do you prefer a long green run tomorrow night or break it up?
I wouldn't mind breaking it up because I think, in our super shocks, the shocks Brian built us, we have a lot of adjustment, and we can make our car a lot better. Under green, it's hard for me to get down there and adjust them just because I don't want to screw up my line on the next entry. So, I'm sure Dave and Cory have no problem doing that, but,
You don't even have shock adjusters.
Just kidding.
The next 24 hours.
I'm sorry?
In the next 24 hours, what are you going to do?
Go to McDonald's and go home and sleep?
No nerves, no nothing?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you probably always have something at this kind of race, but, you do it as much as we do now. It's second nature, like you picking up a camera. You're not worried you're going to miss the shot or, so... for us, it's pretty exciting because I got 3 other cars here, so I get to kind of work on it. So if I was going to have nerves build up or something, I get to take some of that aggression or tinkering and go do that kind of stuff. And with the Chili Bowl, what I think's made it so famous is the people can come up and talk to you. So you always got somebody to talk to tomorrow.
I'm going to hang out with these girls. I'm not going to McDonald's.
I'm going with Chad because he can handle all 4 of them.
Do I go back and micromanage my car? Well, I don't. They don't let me have tools, so they will tonight. They got a spreadsheet that they have to cover every night, and there's certain things we'll have to change just going in tomorrow, knowing what the racetrack's going to do. So they'll go back and they'll work on it and fix all the other stuff I tore up, and I'll kind of concentrate with the other drivers and kind of live through them a little bit.
Dave, this race over the years, there's been a variety of tricks and trick cars, and whether those produce advantages or not, it's always up for question. So today, I just happened to ask Kyle Larson, what did you think about the square tail tank? And what he said was, it makes it harder to spin somebody out.
Yeah.
Do you believe that to be true? And in a race like that, is that a true advantage?
Well, the square bumpers and tail tanks are harder to spin out. I'd say, the pointed bumper is a lot easier to catch and move a guy out of your way, but, not that I would do that, but it is.
Never. You've never done that once, have you?
Maybe once, maybe. Did I do it to you once?
I don't believe so.
I was just thinking about that shitty slide job you were talking about. Yeah.
I would do anything that it takes to gain a spot to a certain point. Moving a guy with a bumper is not illegal in some forms of racing.
Yes.
I think it's an advantage running something square. It's hard to get up on them, get close to them, but heck, we can't get close to them anyway. So, it's you think about it when you're following a car straight, it's not as big of a deal. But when you turn it sideways, how much closer it is to their tires. Now our front tires become closer to their rear tires, so I think it's a definite advantage if that's what your technique's going to be, is go and turn somebody around. But usually, I don't know too many people have been that close to them yet.
Dave, your car stayed under you all night? Your car stayed under you all night?
Well, we got loose there towards the end. It was very good early, and then when the track slickened off, and there was you just had to hit the right spot. And if I hit it right, we was good. If I didn't, but I was hoping to put together last couple of good laps right there and try to do something with Chad, but wasn't able to get her done. But yeah, we had a good car most of the night and most of the week so far. What little we did before tonight, but pretty happy with my team and my situation. So did me a good job so far.
So the child labor laws, they're handing you your helmet when you went out for the water line, so you're breaking them in early.
Yeah, but you know what little time I've got with the Fikes, they've worked hard for me and they've given me a good situation.
Aren't you talking about your grandson?
Before we wrap up tonight, I know we have a very proud dad sitting right back in the back, and I will ask if he has any comments that he would like to throw out this time.
Comments?
Yes, sir.
I'm just very proud of him. He did a good job. You know.
He's got big plans for tonight, he tells us.
Said something about one.
So what did you do the night you won? I think I remember.
Hey, wait a minute.
We don't want to go there, huh?
Jelly wall.